Hey guys, I wanted to talk really quickly about what this video is before it got started. I've kind of collected a few arcade machines over the years, as well as built my own from scratch with my dad. And I'll detail the one I built by the end of the video. I'll just do a little, I have some pictures I took basically of when we were building it. And I'll do a little, timeline of how it got built and the steps we took and the process we made for it. And I'll also create a little document that details like dimensions. So maybe if you're feeling frisky and you want to make your own arcade cabinet, you can by all means follow my design, but hopefully you'll listen to the video and see some things that I maybe would have changed knowing what the inside of an arcade machine kind of looks like now, having bought these other ones from the arcade that closed near me. So anyways, without further ado, here goes the video. Okay, up first we have this air hockey table. Relatively simple design all around. It kind of has this like marble paneling on the side, which looks nice. But we're going to get into the details of this in a second. So this company that made it, Tornado Table Hockey, I googled their name and they've kind of changed hands a few times in terms of ownership. So as far as when this table was made and like what serial number and all this stuff, I have zero idea. I don't know how much it cost when it came out originally. Big mystery on that one. Anyways, let's take a look at the coin door and just kind of the whole operating system of the air hockey table, because you probably have never seen this before, or maybe you have, but maybe not an air hockey table. So the coin collection tray, pretty simple. The coin goes right through this little slot right here. It's not very high tech. It just kind of deposits through this mechanism. And if you look closely, you'll see this very, very tiny peg, this little metal bar. Whenever the coin passes through, that's what trips 1 coin, 2 coin, and 3 coins. This is a 75-cent cost game, so it is activated. And it works pretty well. You can smack the puck across, no problem. And if you take a look at the paddle here, it is floating on the surface there, very, very subtly. Alright, now let's look at the goal and see how this works. This, again, is very, very low tech, just like the coin slot. So the puck falls through the hole, and it kind of falls, the little catch here catches it and rolls it down. And there it ends. Now, you'll notice this little peg, okay? This peg right here goes in and out and prevents the puck from going any further or returning to the end there. And I'll explain that in detail on the other side. So there we go. I just made a shot. I'm so good when it's only me playing. 1 point was tallied. I had made a point on the other side already as well. There's our puck return. We're going to open up this guy, take a look at how the innards of this guy works. And watch me fumble with a key. And I'll just apologize for any shaky camera work. It's tough to film while also doing something with your other hand. So anyways, as you can see, the puck goes through the same thing on this side as it did on the other side. And that is the point counter right there. So every time the puck passes through that, counts as a point. If I hit it a couple more times, it'll add up all those points. And then you notice if I flick it all the way, it passes through. There's boom, boom. And here comes the peg. Boom. So the puck gets blocked basically when the 7th point is scored, and then it can't go any farther. You'll notice it can't go. So once you start the game again, the peg gets removed, and the puck can return safely to the little puck retrieval system. Now on top of the board right here, you can see this weathering that's happened through just years and years and years of play. I'll be the first to admit that this is not the most well taken care of piece of air hockey table. Much more weathering on the other side. And a lot of these holes, it's going to be hard to see in the video, but a lot of these holes got debris in them just because they sat in basically a basement for 30 years more than likely, so this arcade machine's seen better days. I need to really work out a way to kind of fix this up, and all I've seen online is that it's very expensive, so we'll see how much actually gets done in terms of repair on this guy. Okay, and up next we have a TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. 4-player beat-em-up game. Pretty fun. I'd first played this game at Chuck E. Cheese back in the day. That was the really the only arcade experience I really had as a youngin'. But this game, if you look at the control deck here, I replaced all of these buttons and the joysticks. They were really, really bad, so I had to replace them so the game could actually be functional. And I bought probably $60 worth of replacement parts for that. Not so bad. Up top, we have the marquee. It looks really beautiful. And of course, we have the Canon April O'Neil in terms of my perspective. We got our joystick here. Wiggles really, really good. The buttons feel really nice after I replace them. And if you take a look, that is the original yellow, and that's the yellow I bought. Now, it's so rusted and gross, but the new one, it makes such a better noise and satisfying click. And I'll be showing that to you in a second. But I just wanted to show the base of the control deck. This is basically what goes below. And also this is the button. Listen up. It sounds so much better on the new one, so much more clicky-clacky. So this is the basic control deck of the old joystick. You can see these little white pins. Excuse my shaky camera. You can see these little white pins. They move whenever the joystick is moved, and they're supposed to connect those two like receptors on the ends of those. Like if I did that, that would cause my character to go up. But look, there's no connection being made. Like these controls just did not work at all. So I had to go in and obviously replace them. And you can see these pins run to these pins right here. I'm going to show you what the inside of a little machine in here looks like. Now, I wish I did this on my machine. Look at that. It flips open so you can touch the whole control deck, and it makes it so much easier. So there's all the pins and all the wires. They all connect to certain wires that also connect to the board back there that obviously perform your jumps. It's a little gross down there. Again, these machines have been in a basement for a very long time. And look at that. That one actually clicks. You see that? It works so much better with the replacement tools that I bought. The button clicks down and makes that connection with the node so that you can jump or attack. Works pretty well with these guys. Right, and one thing I don't know how to fix is this extreme weathering on these on the vinyl little cover here for the main control deck. It looks really gross. I'm not sure how to fix that. All right, we have our little coin slots. Works very similar to the other machine, the air hockey table. Coin goes through the top and presses on this little pin. And if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear the coin activate. Now Raphael there's ready to play. Now that machine produces a lot of that very, very high-pitched frequency, so I apologize for that if the video caught that. Now the coin slot works just like before. It's super low-tech. It literally just falls into a bucket that a an arcade owner would unlock at the end of the day and collect all the quarters for. It falls right into that slot right there. Alright, next machine is our Cruisin' USA machine. I got this at a steal. This was only $150 at the little barter situation there once the arcade was closing. Really proud of this one. Made by Nintendo. There you go. Cruisin' USA. Pretty legit game. I had this on the N64 back in the day. But of course I played it in arcades. So again, we have the coin slot. 50-cent game. You put the coins down in. That's the lever that activates the tokens. And again, the coins fall into that little slot right there. And a arcade owner would collect all of it right down here. Right now it's filled with a bunch of junk. Alright, so you can see some graffiti on the steering console here. Also just how rusted that is. I've looked up ways to kind of like restore the metal like that. I'm not really sure what the best option is. The foot pedals, same idea. Some sticker residue. Maybe there was a reason this was only $150. Also the chair, you can see this kind of like patchwork that the arcade techs did. Couple brakes. This is just a simple plastic, so it's, seen a lot of movement over the years. Also the little lining on the edge is falling off. I'm not sure why they even bothered putting it on the bottom, to be honest, but there it is. Now this little black box is what the chair sits on and rests. My dad and I restored it a lot better. It's a little shaky, but oh my gosh, it still looks so much better than it did before. A little dusty from my dad's woodwork, but it works pretty well. Display looks pretty good. I had an arcade tech come out and fix that. We also kind of tuned up and cleaned up this little connecting black board to the monitor. Looks really nice. Despite this machine being huge, we also thank Lord. Now I wish I had to open this, but my dad has it somewhere. I couldn't there; they weren't, so I had to leave it locked up. But all right, up next we have a big win that I got for about $600 at the auction. This was Mortal Kombat 2. Now, this machine works pretty good. I still think I want to replace the joysticks and the buttons. Also, you'll notice some green graffiti on the control deck there. Buttons work pretty good. Hey, keep going. Up top, on top of the machine, there's some kind of like peppering of the wood. I'm not really sure what caused that, but this is where the power switch is. Game turns on. Takes a second, because it kind of has to go through its, install there. But you can see the initializing screen. Coin deck works the exact same way as all the other ones, although there are some little additions on this one. They have some testing buttons here. These little black and red buttons you can see. I haven't messed with them. I have no idea what they do. But there's the coin slot. Falls into a little hole just like the other ones. And of course the coin operator, arcade operator, could grab those coins there. There's the keys for the machine right there on the inside. We keep it open because, we don't want to have to keep depositing quarters. Now the display looks great. You can see that kind of like bar coming across the screen. That is not the game. That is the it being recorded. So if you're not familiar with how these TVs kind of worked back in the day, that is how it worked. They kind of had the display lines going up and down. Here's me getting beat up by another scorpion. Now this machine my mom decided to jump in on. She wanted just something from the Fun Factory herself, which was the arcade that closed near me. It's a grip test machine. It does not work though. We tried to look at the back. It is mechanical, like extremely mechanical, but we just could not figure it out. Also some extremely dated strength measurements here for male and female comparisons. This not exactly kosher units of measurement for men versus women. I'm not sure this would fly today. Last but not least, we have the arcade machine that I built personally. Now, you can see it's all Dill Games themed. Control deck is all black. I bought these parts from a company called X Arcade. I am not sure I would recommend it. I had a lot of trouble getting them to work and getting them all organized, but it worked out in the end. Up on top, I just have some fun video game knickknacks, including my wedding cake toppers there. I've been loading up on stickers, just putting as many as I can on the sides. Also, every arcade machine needs one of these, you guys. Cup holder, baby! I have no idea why I've never seen that before, but they all need them. Sticker City. Both sides have a cup holder because this is a two-player little arcade machine here. I can put my water in there, or other drinks. So this was us building it. This was the first kind of thing I did, which was design the control deck. There's a million different settings for controllers out there, Street Fighter settings or kind of two-button settings, but I just went with what I did just because. Now, this is MDF wood. It's super, super dense, like fibrous wood, and it is real heavy and real big, and you need to wear a face mask when you cut that stuff because it is nasty. If you look closely, you can see the little outlines of the side panels of the arcade machine. Make sure you always wear your mask, even if we're not in a pandemic. Always wear a mask, you guys. Come on. You can tell this is old because I have hair on my head as well. And we cut out the MDF wood. Looked pretty good. It's starting to take a shape right there. This acts as a box frame on the bottom and the top. It just kind of keeps it together. Here you can see us kind of measuring it out. drilling it in about. There it is standing up. It's starting to take a real shape, which was really cool when we were building it. The back panel was just a piece of MDF that we cut out a hole for to have a door in it eventually. There's the monitor hold. You can also look at the top there, and you can kind of see the little speaker holes that I added. There's the monitor mounted inside. I just bought a cheapy little computer monitor, and you can also see the plastic up on the top, which is a marquee, which we put in later. This is a little view of the control deck. I found that when we were drilling into the MDF, when it came out the other side, it would shred the heck out of it. So this ended up being the bottom of the control deck, because obviously we wouldn't want that to be seen on top. There's a little mouse trackball that we had. I ordered that from X Arcade as well. Finally got that working recently, actually. Also, what's an arcade machine without a coin door? This obviously doesn't function, because this isn't technically a machine. It's just a computer sitting in a box, but it's there. I bought this little lining online. It's Galaxian colored, so it's the same color as the one in Galaxian. Cutting this hole for it to fit in was a trial. We almost had a little edge there that was not so good, but it ended up fitting in really well. There's the bottom door, so I could kind of have a storage space on the bottom. That hole on the bottom right there is a speaker hole. I found this really nice speaker online. There's a little picture of the puppies. They were helping us out all the time. Now we painted it, added some details like the cup holders and some plastic on top so it would cover the control deck a little bit. Came out pretty nice. We added a primer and the just standard black coat of matte right there. It looked really nice once it was all done. There's the Galaxian lining all lined up. We also have the monitor display kind of cover there. Spray painted it, made it look like a real bezel. Added that little control deck artwork on top. Here's a peek inside of the wiring for the controllers. Ton of wires. I was really daunted by all this, you guys. It's very intimidating. So let me describe kind of how the controllers work. This is an extremely roundabout method. I would not do this. We had buttons and joysticks that had these little nodes that connect to a little motherboard, and then that motherboard connects to a little Xbox controller adapter that replicates basically the controller movements into an Xbox controller so that my computer could recognize it a lot easier, because I was having a lot of trouble with button mapping, and I found that Xbox controller adapter worked really well. Anyways, I moved it up into the condo. This was a trial. I live on a few flights of stairs here, so thankfully my neighbor had some straps that helped me move it. But it wasn't without damage. You can see the MDF wood has this fibrous material on the inside there. That's what MDF is. It's literally just condensed fibrous wood. Here's it turned on. I hadn't added the marquee yet, but there it is. I'm not proud of the way the marquee turned out, but I don't really care that much. So there it is. We added some fine details like a little knob so you can open it up. That picture was of me and my wife that was actually taken at the arcade that I bought all this from. Really smooth work that me and my dad did on this side little lining here. It looks really good and it feels nice. If you open it up, it's just got a little notch. No one's going to break into my house and do this, so I don't have to worry about it. This coin door doesn't operate, but it does have an LED to make it kind of look like it's on, right? And if it did accept coins, same deal as before. There's a little knob that the quarter would knock and do that. That's the strap for the LED light there. There's my nice crazy speaker with a hole cut out so you can hear the cool music. It's got a volume adjuster on the side there. I bought this speaker system for like 60 bucks on Amazon. It was awesome. And the rest is just like mouse and keyboard and a bunch of other junk. On the back side, you can see the power cable we drilled out. Just connects to a regular old adapter there. You open it up, and I forgot I needed my light on this one, so I took the video again and re-recorded with a flash on. You can see the PC right there on the right, and those are just a mess of cables and adapters that I had to use to get all these things working. Speakers right on top. We have a left and a right channel. I almost dropped this once I showed you to you, but you know, it just sits up there in a little basket. And it's a little hard to tell from this angle, but there's a LED light up here that would turn on and display the little marquee right there. That strap right here, this little white thing turns it on and off. There it is on. You can see it. Now, it doesn't look great. You can see the little parsing of the paper there. I haven't really come up with a great solution for it, but you know, it gets the job done for now. I don't really care that much. Now, another look at all the controller little wiring. It gets crazy in there, man. Like, there is so much to wire, and it was extremely intimidating for me. Google helped you guys. That's all I can really say. Also, shout out to Pat, who's a guy we've known for a while who kind of retrofits his own arcades, and he helped out connecting all these wires a lot. I don't even think I would have made it work without him. And then you can see the mess of adapters. It connects all the way down into the CPU. Those are the Xbox adapters right there. And it connects right into my little Intel NUC right there. Pretty powerful PC for like 300 or 400 bucks. Works out pretty well. I would highly suggest it. You got your power cables, all that nonsense. On the other side, it works pretty well. The joysticks control everything. It boots into Steam Big Picture mode. So this is like one of the very, very rare arcade machines that is totally legit. I'm not using any ROMs that are like stolen off the internet. This is a very, very legit arcade machine, okay? And it just boots in all these games. And again, all controlled from the control deck here. You don't even have to use the mouse and keyboard, which is awesome. But yeah, it works pretty well. Although you'll notice, look, I can't control my game. For some reason, the joysticks get spit into the, like, player one is on the right side instead of the left side. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes it does. Anyways, that's the arcade machine. I'm pretty proud of it. So anyways, that is the arcade cabinets that I have. I'm really proud of the homemade arcade cabinet that me and my dad did. I would change a few things, as I mentioned in the video, but it was a pretty cool project. And it did cost us a bit in terms of the technology involved. Some of the parts, like the CPU that I bought, the little Intel NUC, that cost a pretty $300, $400, and then, you know, the monitor, the cables, it all kind of adds up in a way. But it wasn't too expensive in terms of like an arcade cabinet, right? Like that thing is a big hunkin' something, and it came out really well. All right, so anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. I just wanted to show you guys kind of the arcade stuff that I've got. It's pretty fun. I'm down. I like it. So I'll catch you guys next time. Okay. Bye-bye.